Answers. 1a. Outline Jeremiah's prophecies about the Messiah as found in Jeremiah chapter 23 from verse 5 to 6. The Messiah would come from the house of David. He would be righteous. He would reign as a king. The Messiah would rule wisely. He would execute justice in the land. He would bring salvation upon Judah. He would provide security in Israel. He would be called the Lord. 1b. From the Benedictors, state what Z.E. said about John the Baptist, as found in Luke chapter 16 from verse 7 to 80. Luke chapter 1 verse 67 to 80. God had brought salvation to Israel. God had fulfilled his promises. God is to be worshipped in holiness. God is the Redeemer of Israel. God is merciful. John would be the prophet of the Most High. John would be the forerunner of the Lord. John would teach the way of salvation. John would give light to people staying in darkness. John would guide people to peace. 1c. Say 7 ways through which the church helps families to cope with challenges facing them. The church organizes for seminars for different groups in the family life, offering guidance and counseling on family matters, paying visits to families, producing literature on proper Christian living, provide financial support to needy families, praying for their families, providing vocational training, offering employment to jobless people, condemning vices which threaten families. Question 2a. Describe the incidents when Jesus calmed the storm as found in Luke chapter 8 verse 22 to 25. Jesus got into a boat with his disciples. He told them that they should go to the other side of the lake so they can set off. As they sailed, Jesus fell asleep. A storm of wind came down off the lake. The boat was filled with water, and they were in danger. The disciples went and woke Jesus, saying, "Master, we are perishing." Jesus got up, rebuked the wind. The storm subsided. Jesus asked the disciples where their faith was. The disciples were afraid, and they marveled. The disciples wondered who Jesus was, even the wind and water could obey him. 2b. Give reasons why Jesus used parables in his teachings. To attract listeners because the stories were enjoyable. It was a common teaching method at that time. To make the listeners think for themselves and make individual judgment. To make it easy for people to understand the complicated theme of their sin kingdom. To avoid direct confrontation with the Pharisees, the scribes, and the Sadducees. To isolate serious and keen listeners from the rest of the group. He was to keep his identity a secret until he finalizes his mission to fulfill the Old Testament prophecies. This helped in shaping their attitudes to Jesus and in bringing them to a closer and a new relationship with him. C. Set lessons about Jesus from the incident when he calmed the storm. Jesus has power over nature. He came to destroy the evil forces against human beings. Jesus was a human being. That is, he slept. Jesus demands faith from those who follow him. He is the Messiah who performs miracles. Jesus is caring, that he intervenes in situations. Jesus answers our prayers. Question 3a. Relate the parable of the sheep manager as found in Luke chapter 16 from verse 1 to 13. There was once a rich man who employed a servant to manage his property. Rich man got word that his manager was misusing his resources. He called him and informed him to give a complete account of how he was handling his property. The sheep manager, when knew that his master was going to sack him, he decided to make friends with some debtors so that they could take care of him when he sacked by his master. One debtor owed his master 100 barrels of olive oil. He asked the debtor to change this to 50 barrels. The second servant owed 1,000 barrels of wheat. He was asked to change this to 800 barrels. The master praised the manager for doing such a shrewd thing. Jesus praised the manager not because of his dishonesty, but because he acted promptly and with great presence of mind in a moment of crisis. 3b. Give 7 reasons why Jesus had conflicts with Jewish religious leaders in Jerusalem. They questioned Jesus on the origin of his authority. He challenged them to state by whose authority John the Baptist preached. Jesus accused the religious leaders for rejecting God's prophets and planning to kill God's son. He used the parable of the tenants. They wanted to trap Jesus by asking him whether it was right paying taxes to the Roman government or not. This was the question about the payment of taxes. The Sadducees approached Jesus to confirm on the issue of resurrection with a story of a woman married to several brothers who died without bearing children. Jesus challenged the Jewish religious leaders about the Messiah if the Messiah was more than an earthly figure. Jesus accused the scribes and lawyers for practicing hypocrisy. Jesus also condemned the offering of the Jewish leaders, but was in praise of that offered by the widow. 3c. State 7 ways in which people misuse their wealth today. By 1, indulging in alcoholism. By indulging in immoral practices such as prostitution, sex, and tourism. Use of wealth in coupling, which might lead to loss of wealth. One buying luxuries, for example, expensive clothes, cars, houses which are not necessary. Using wealth to frustrate others, for example, exploit those who not have. Money is used to bribe others, for example, judges, magistrates to win favors. Using money to buy positions, power and status, and also to buy jobs and employment. Use of wealth to show off. Use of wealth to promote dangerous sports, for example, boxing, wrestling, motor racing, and bullfighting. Wealthy people giving lots of money to young children cannot use it responsibly. Using wealth to lure others and young people to immoral activities. Question 4a. Outline Peter's teaching on unity of believers based on the image of the people of God, as found in 1 Peter chapter 2 from verse 9 to 10. They are a chosen race. They are a royal priesthood. They are a holy nation. They are God's own people. They have been called to declare wonderful ones of God. They have been called out of darkness into the marvelous light. They were once not people, but they are now the people of God. They have received God's mercy. 4b. Give ways in which the use of gifts of the Holy Spirit brought disunity in the church of Corinth. The people who had the gift of speaking in tongues despised those who did not have it. There was competition involving speaking in tongues. Believers wanted to prove that they could speak the longest, loudest, and many different languages. When one spoke in tongues to a congregation without an interpreter, whatever he or she said was meaningless to other members of the church, since no one understood the message. People didn't show love to one another as they used the gift of the Holy Spirit. People at the church at Corinth caused disorderly in worship. This is because they tried to undo one another in manifestation of the gifts. People didn't use the gifts of the growth and development of the church. They used the gifts for their personal benefits. According to the Corinthians, the only way one could prove that he or she was under the influence of the Holy Spirit was by speaking in tongues. 4c. Identify 6 ways in which the fruit of kindness has been abused in Kenya today. Some Christians fail to work because they expect assistance from others. Some Christians over-depend on other people's efforts. Some church leaders start many projects in the church expecting members to support. Some church leaders ask the congregation to cater for their needs, like buying vehicles and paying for their further studies. Some members of the church fail to return borrowed money, expecting the church members to understand. And the church leaders demand for payment for all services they render, example, conducting masses, officiating weddings and funerals. Question 5a. Outline the measures taken in traditional African communities to discourage pregnancy before marriage. Sex education was given to the youth to instill discipline. Youth were sensitized on consequences for irresponsible sex. Virginity was highly valued in most African communities. Pregnancy before marriage was highly punished. Young men who impregnated girls were heavily reprimanded. Mothers were held responsible for their daughters' conduct. During social occasions, girls and boys were supervised so they do not misbehave. Boys and girls lived in separate huts. There were taboos on sexual relationships. Both sexes were taught to treat each other with respect. 5b. State 7 similarities between the Christian and the traditional African marriage. In both, marriage is ordained by God. In both, marriage is meant for procreation. In both, husband and wife attain certain responsibilities after marriage. In both, marriage creates new bonds of relationship. In both, marriage is a means of building a family. In both, man and woman find mutual love and companionship. In both, marriage promotes the social status of those who enter into it. In both, marriage is a social affair involving more than 2 spouses. In both, marriage is a covenant. C. State the challenges that children from single-parent families face in Kenya. Identity crisis, that is, they do not know where they belong. Social stigma. They miss the love of one parent, and they may have psychological problems. They may be denied inheritance of the family wealth. They may face a rejection in the society, lack of adequate basic needs. Question 6a. State 7 ways of acquiring wealth in traditional African societies. Inheritance, bride wealth, hard work, for example, breaking virgin land for farming, exploitation of natural resources, barter trade, raiding, gifts, marrying many wives and getting many children, use of skills, for example, to making, weaving, pottery. Those with talents, for example, medicine, men sold their skills. 6b. State Jesus' teachings on wealth. Christians should generously give their wealth to serve God. We should share our wealth with the needy. We should seek spiritual wealth, which is more permanent and fulfilling. Wealth should not be idolized. Christians are only stewards of the wealth which belongs to God. Wealth can create a false sense of independence from God if we are not careful. Wealth is a blessing from God. Wealth should be acquired justly. 6c. Give reasons why Christians should condemn bribery and corruption in the society. Bribery undermines the integrity of the receiver. Bribery is a criminal case punishable by law. Recipients may lack good public image. Recipients may lose their jobs. Poor economic growth and increase in poverty levels. Increase in crime rate and social unrest. Bribery leads to suffering of the giver. Huge losses of public funds. Lack of quality services in very crucial sectors. Did you understand? Kindly let me know in the comment section below. Also let me know what video I can look at tomorrow. Thanks a lot for subscribing and listening to me. God bless you.